Today I'm just going to go over yesterday's trade and pretty much everything that was going through my mind. Starting on the higher time frames, we can see, look, on this 4 hour. So we're kind of trading up in the range here, in this big range. We have bearish SMT with ES. ES have taken all-time highs, as you know. Kind of coming into here. Let's see what we got. So yesterday, this was yesterday's move. Yesterday had a big move. All I'm kind of expecting is just a trade into equilibrium, really, or into this gap. Nothing major because we have news tomorrow. So looking into yesterday's trade, kind of just previous week high, we swept that. So this is our ERL, and we're looking to trade into IRL, which would be this 4 hour imbalance. So you can see ERL swept it into IRL, okay? And inversely, you can see once we traded past this previous week high, we reached into this 4 hour fair value gap. Okay, this CB right here with SMT. So you can see that this is an IRL to ERL move. So you can see these kind of relative equal lows here. This is our target, and that was IRL to ERL. So both ways work. So ERL to IRL, IRL to ERL. Both moves. This was the draw liquidity right here. So knowing that, coming into today, I'm thinking we have taken this IRL. Now we are looking to trade within the range and reach IRL inside the range, which would be this big fair value gap here that you can really see. I haven't marked it up, but right there. So now I'm going to go deeper into the day. Let's go 5 minutes. This is the start of the day, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nothing's really happening, okay? So that's kind of expected after a huge move. Even go on the 15-minute. We can see that through this massive move here yesterday, we kind of just consolidate here, okay? Accumulate and consolidate. So what I'm expecting here is to, obviously, we've taken out this ERL. I'm looking to reach within IRL. But before we do that, I'm looking for a manipulation within this consolidation range, lower, to then move higher into the 50%. Okay, so let's see what price does. Actually, yeah, before we do that, before I enter a trade, I always like to look at the daily profile. So let's go over to this cheat sheet right here, and we can see exactly what kind of day that we're heading into. So as you can see in the Asia and London session, we've actually just accumulated. So it's not a typical London reversal, New York expansion. It's not that. So we can cross that out. London Judas, we didn't really have a big move in London. It's just consolidated. So again, not that. Now this is the kind of day I was expecting. It was either these 2 days. So I'll explain now in a second. So Asia and London consolidation, which we had, that's number one. And then a New York reverse or manipulation continuation. Okay, so that's what the 2 days I'm expecting. So it's either this one or this one. I'll get to why it's this one in a second. But you see this one, it comes in with, usually this happens on an 8:30 news day or 10 o'clock high impact news, where we can manipulate and then expand. So typically on an 8:30 news day, 8:30 manipulates, the rest of New York kind of expands up. And with the 10 o'clock high impact news, you'd see that kind of 9:30 would start to manipulate lower, and then 10 o'clock starts to expand to the drawn liquidity. Now, we didn't have any news today, so I wasn't too convinced it'd be this day. But again, it was not out of the picture because sometimes these days do happen. So now the day that I was expecting was this London swing to Z day setup, okay? So we can see it's a bit more, it was a bit like a mix of these two. London really didn't have a big move, but I did expect price to, again, just range and, hover around the opening price, which we did. But yeah, I didn't expect big moves. So it was a mix of these Asia, London consolidation with a bit of manipulation up, manipulation, and then was not so much a big expansion, but just hovering around here, at least catching this move. That's all I'm expecting for today. So let's go into the chart. So with that in mind, let's see what happens here. So currently trading within this 1 hour BISI. I want to see some manipulation, maybe into these lows here, and then target buy side. So that's what's going through my mind right now, and that's my bias. Okay, 9:30 opens right here. This is the 9:30 candle. Look what happens. We manipulate right into these sell side levels. Exactly what I was expecting. This is what I wanted to happen. Okay, yeah. Price goes down lower into this New York PM sell side target right here. I just moved this. You can kind of see here kill zones. We can see Asia London consolidate. Okay, now New York is starting to manipulate lower, and we took out the New York PM session sell side right here with SMT. Now that's crucial because that's what's gonna trigger the move higher. Now let's go low into the 1 minute now. On the 1 minute, you can see, yep, the sell side we took with bullish SMT. And now this is when I'm starting to look for a trade in this 950 macro. Now that's crucial. That's one of the biggest windows, the time windows that I actually like to trade. The 950 macro, what you would get is an entry into an imbalance and then expansion into a target, all within this 20 minutes of trading. So 950 to 1010. So here, what I'm looking for is we've done the manipulation. All right, that's checked. We've took out the sell side, and we have bullish SMT. So now I'm looking for price to change its state or inverse fair value gaps and target the buy side up here. And currently in seeing this, we have all this consolidation here. This acts as the original consolidation right here. Let's just mark that out like that. So we have this original consolidation here, and then we have a little bit of another consolidation period right here. And here I'm looking for a smart money reversal, okay? Now let's drag this one out. Here, and then I want to see price complete the market maker buy model on the way up, all right? So even easier for you guys to see here. That's the sell side of the curve, and I'm looking for a buy side now, okay? So this is going through my mind as I take the trade. So here we actually have more bullish SMT. So this right here is what gives me even more confirmation. So we have higher time frame SMT as well as low time frame SMT internal. Boom. Now this is giving me even more confidence in this trade. Okay, there you go. Price opens up, starts to expand. We have a change of state delivery right here. Change of state delivery. I take an entry on the close, actually right here. I remember I took along right here, if I'm not mistaken. Right there, and my target is now this buy side up here. It actually is all the way up here, is the top of the consolidation, but this is the safer trade right here. This is the trade that I took today. Now we can see here, let's move on. This is kind of what happens. So price goes down, tests the change state. I enter another contract. So now I'm in 3 contracts. The initial trade is 2 contracts, retests the change state with a reaction. I enter another contract. So now that's 3 contracts. Right here, we have a fair value gap that will act as a breakaway. This will act as a breakaway gap right here. And also note that we have the SIBI right here. And I would like to see price trade through that. There you go. Price trades right through that, and I add another contract. So now that's 4 contracts I'm in right now. And I start to push my stop a bit higher into that candle. So in this fair value gaps candle, the candle that created the fair value gap, we can see it's a 3 candle formation. First candle, second expands, and third also expands here. We can see this is the low of the first candle. So I put my stop there just to increase my RR on the trade. Anyway, we go up higher and we take out this sell side imbalance. Now on the 5 minute, we can see we also inversed this 5 minute gap right here. This gap right here on the 5 minute, we've inversed that. Now that's giving me great confidence in this trade. Okay, so we continue on. Now this order block here will form as a future breaker. That is my hopes in this trade to, keep it moving up here higher. You can see we're outside of the 950 macro. It didn't perform as clean as I would expect, but that's all right. So now we start to form here higher price action. We close above this breaker now. Now this becomes a breaker. Let's go breaker. right here. Now I'll put my stop loss to break even right now. I put it at break even because as soon as we close above this order block right here, this bearish order block, it becomes now a bullish breaker block. So with breaker block, you don't want to see price close below it. So at this point, I'm in 5 contracts right now, and I start to take partials at this high here. So I took one partial at this high right here, and I have another sell limit right at this high here too. Reason being is now ES is a lot higher into the range, and I'm just taking partials because soon we're going to have bearish SMT. So I take a partial there. Price finds resistance at another 5-minute gap right here. Okay, it's finding resistance, but we're supporting right here. So we're supporting this level, this breaker, and I think we have a good reaction out of it now. Good. Now I'll start to bring my stop loss a bit higher. Can't really do it on this tool here. My stop loss is now at the bottom of this inverse fair value gap right here. Push higher, taking out this buy side. We took that, and I've now taken out 2 partials, so I'm left with 3 contracts in this trade. Rest targeting this high up here. At this point, ES now has taken the buy side target, which, if you see out here, is this target up here. These relative equal highs up here. This low resistance liquidity. ES has taken that now, and now we have bearish SMT. Now, one thing I didn't do was I had confidence in this trade to take that. So I didn't put my stop loss as high as I should, but it was at the low of this breaker because I didn't want price to reach below this breaker. And actually, talking about breakers, we actually form another breaker right here. See these 2 up close candles. This forms another breaker right here. So you want to find support at that breaker too. Now, price now starts to go a bit lower. Starts to go a bit lower, and we disrespect this fair value gap right here. This fair value gap right here, we now have, oh, not yet. This fair value gap gets ran through right now, and that's indicating that we are now switching to bearish order flow. Why? Again, because we have bearish SMT right here. And yes, so my stop was at this low here, I think now. I started pushing a bit lower, a bit higher, sorry. And you can see with taking a partial here, I have 3 contracts here. And again, look, price just goes lower and hits my stop loss. Hits my stop loss in profit though. But yeah, we still managed to hit a $330 trade right here, trading 5 MNQ contracts. And that pushes me past the 50% level of my 50K eval. So I'm happy with that. Just making this YouTube channel for myself, just so in the future I can see my thought processes and motions before and after trades. And, if it gets views, that's a plus. But this is really just for me to, gain more confidence in front of the camera and break down some trades that I've taken during the week. So, yeah, that concludes this video.